up guys, thanks for checking out my GTR video today. So like I've said before, if you do enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and hit that small bell so that you get notifications when I put out a new video. So today we're going to be going over some of the GTR build, and some of the things that we're going to go over is the small bits and pieces that I bought from Platinum Racing Products, from HKS, and some of the parts that I replaced on the timing side, as well as some challenges that I ran into while removing the crank gear and the cam gears, and some special tools that I used to help get around some of the parts being a little sticky and not wanting to come off properly. So I hope you enjoy the video today. Okay, so we had a few things for the GTR come in as far as parts. We'll go over some of the parts that came in, as well as what's going to be happening next with the engine. Let's take a look at a few of the parts that came in. So the timing was recently done on this GTR, but if I'm going to be doing cams, I figured I would just redo some of the components. I'm there anyway and it's buried, so why wouldn't I just redo it anyway? So that's at least my logic. Some of you would reuse some of these parts, which is fine, but for me, if I'm there and I have the car apart, then I may as well replace the timing parts. So as far as the timing parts, they came in new stock timing belt, the idler pulley, tensioner pulley, some cam seals because I'm going to be doing the cams, and as well these little plugs. And so we got some Tomei pond cams. So the lift on the pond cams I believe is 9.5 millimeters, duration's 260. Should add some power. I'm not looking for huge power out of this build. I know on the internet you see these 1,000 horsepower GTR builds, which is fine, but I've owned really high horsepower street cars before, and to be honest with you, I don't enjoy them. So I'm going to be shooting for 500 of the wheels, which I think is plenty, and I just want a fun street car. And then after the fact, if I want to spend more money on this thing, I can certainly amp it up. So what we have here for the cams, as mentioned, is the Tomei pond cams. They're a drop-in solution. Got some HKS cam gears, which I really like. They're so nice. Just an aside from me to you, don't try and buy HKS cam gears from a vendor that's not registered with HKS. There are so many fake cam gears out. These HKS purple cam gears have probably been the most faked aftermarket item that I can even think of. And we're talking, they've been manufacturing, there's been fakes out there for over 10 years. So I would just spend the money and buy from an approved HKS reseller, which is what I did, and not look for a deal on these, because if you look for a deal on eBay or on Yahoo auctions, you're likely buying fakes if they're very cheap. And so I wouldn't trust fake ones. I would only trust my engine to a new adjustable cam gear from a reputable vendor. And so these HKS ones, when you actually hold a pair of real HKS cam gears, it's pretty obvious that they're not fake. They are an exceedingly nice manufactured gear. So next here, I unpacked some of the Platinum Racing Product stuff. And again, I've talked about this earlier, The Platinum Racing product stuff is just great quality. It's expensive, but if so, this is going to be the 12 tooth wheel for the crank sensor. It's all CNC machined aluminum parts, right? Very, very nice, very heavy. Comes with all the hardware, wiring, everything comes with it. So the PRP stuff, although expensive, if you want a nice finished product that you know you're going to be able to rely on, I would say it's worth it. Just save up, right? It took me a bit to save up for it because, to be honest with you, it's not cheap stuff. But I feel like that's a place where it's nice not to skimp on money, especially something that's supporting a sensor, right? So I would say, yeah, Platinum Racing products. It's they make great parts, and I'm happy to have them on my GTR project here. Okay, so we're working on taking the cams out. The covers came off okay. We're gonna be next pulling the cam gears. All the marks are aligned. All the timing marks are aligned. And the tensioner was a little bit too tight. What was happening with the timing belt is it was starting to cup. And that's, in my opinion, indicative of being too tight. The timing belt's going to be going back on, but first we got to throw the cams in and the cam gears. Now, while I was taking the cam gears off, it seems that one gear won't come off. So let's take a look here. So this one came off no problem. Just wiggling a little bit, it popped off. This one is on there, it will not come off. So what we're gonna do, I sort of feel like, I mean, you can get a screwdriver in there and pry at it, but the this sort of tin backing plate with timing marks on it isn't very strong, and so you're just gonna maul that up and make a big mess. So what I do normally in this situation is I use a steering wheel puller to pop it off. So let's see how that goes. So this is what we're gonna use. It's just a very simple steering wheel puller. I'm just going to try my best to keep the cam from spinning. There we go. You can see on the end of the cam here, maybe the car was sitting outside and some moisture got to it, but there's a little bit of a ring of some rust forming, and fairly certain that dowel pin was just stopping it from popping off easily. So steering wheel puller, a lot easier. Okay, so we're working on the timing on RP26, and while doing the timing, we're putting in some cams, putting on some HKS cam gears, and as well installing some of the Platinum Racing products items. So if we take a look, cam gears are on. I just covered up the cams because I don't want a bunch of dust to get in there. On the cam gears, we have our dowel pins right there on the end of the cam, which is lined up with this little dot, which is lined up with the timing mark on the backing plate. The Platinum Racing Products cam sensor kit has the pickup for the hall sensor on the taller post, which is meant to line up with again the outside timing mark on the exhaust pulley here. Now the reason we have to throw this on is because the Platinum Racing Products one has a 12 tooth reluctor ring on it for the sensor for the crank. So now what we've run into here is, if you look way down in here, now what's happening is that this cog here, so the problem we're running into is this cog has a woodruff key. Now this cog does not want to slide over that woodruff key. I put a little bit of lubrication on it. It still doesn't want to go on its own. So what we're going to have to use is a puller. Now the puller that we have available here is a 2-claw puller, and we're going to remove this cog with that. Hopefully it'll slide over that woodruff key. So we'll take a 13 mil socket and throw it in the middle here so that the puller has something to push on. And install the puller. Now the idea is going to be that this puller is going to force this cog over the woodruff key, which, you know, I don't think it has any burrs on it, but it's a very tight fit. So we're about halfway, and you can see that the puller has, you can see the woodruff key has sort of disappeared, and the puller is doing its job very well. All right, and there we have it. Pulled this cog off without damaging the woodruff key or the crank snout. So I'd recommend that you guys, if you're working on something like this and you run into an issue which requires a puller, just go buy the proper puller. At my local auto parts store, I mean, these pullers aren't expensive. They're unfortunately made in China, but they're cheapy pullers. But if you don't use them every day, that puller was 40 bucks. And you know, a new woodruff key or a new or having the end of your crank knocked out around because you're wailing on this with a hammer or using a pry bar, it's just not worth it. Just buy the tool and throw it on your shelf, and if you work on cars consistently, you'll probably end up using it again. Just for this one job, this was well worth the money. If I would have damaged, for example, the case here, throwing a pry bar in there, or if it would have damaged the crank snout, would have been way more than $40, that's for sure. So now you grab your 1/4 inch extension. Yank that out. And we're all done. Now we're gonna install the new reluctor ring, the new bottom cog from the Platinum Racing Products kit. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the GTR video today. Like I've said before, please like and subscribe my video, hit the bell button so that you get notifications on the new videos when I put them out. And there'll be more GTR videos coming out in the coming weeks here. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.